Hi, I'm Dave Epstein. Welcome to this edition of Growing Wisdom. Today we talk bulbs. Not bulbs that you plant outside, like this little daffodil bulb, but bulbs that you plant inside to enjoy flowers in the middle of the winter. That's just a great thing because across so much of the country, it's cold, it's snowy, it's bleak outside, and you want some of that springtime color for those months of December, January, February, perhaps even March. Let's start with Narcissus or paperwhite bulbs. These are Narcissus bulbs. I love planting these. You know, this is something I did with my mother way back when I was a kid. It was exciting. We used to plant these. We'd put them in the closet. We'd wait a few weeks, bring them outside, put them in a bright window, and we'd have flowers in February. I really think that this is one of the things that kind of got me excited about growing as a child. So it's something that I do every year, and I hope you'll do this if you don't already. So unlike tulips, daffodils, and crocuses, which need 14, 15, 16 weeks of cold, the Narcissus bulb, when you find them, they don't need the cold in order to get them to flower. That's why we can start them inside. So if you went and you planted your crocuses or your tulips or your daffodils and did the exact same thing that we're doing here, they probably wouldn't flower because those bulbs need to be exposed to cold for a long period of time. That's why we plant them in the ground in the fall and we enjoy them in the spring. But with the Narcissus bulb, we get to put them inside right now. A few weeks go by and we'll see some flowers. The great thing about Narcissus bulbs is that you really do not need soil to get them to grow. You can use soil, but you don't have to. As a matter of fact, you can put the bottom of the bulb in a jar where just the very bottom touches water, and this will actually grow just in pure water. My recommended method of growing them is in stone. So we've got some stones here. Now, this is just some crushed stone aggregate, nothing fancy. You can get all sorts of colored stones. You can do anything you want. You could even grow them in a little bit of sand if you thought that was interesting. Not only are there Narcissus that you can plant indoors to get great flowers, but Amaryllis is probably one of the other most popular bulbs to grow inside. A couple of ways you can buy these. One is you can just buy the bulb. You can actually order these from a catalog, and you get the Amaryllis, follow the directions, which we're going to tell you about in just a second, or you can buy something like this, which is an Amaryllis kit, which has everything in it. It has the pot, the soil, follow the directions. So these traditionally, they come in red, white, pink. If you order them or you go to a garden center, you can find many different colors. So the reason to go this way is perhaps you have your favorite pot. You don't want to use the plastic pot that comes in the container, or you just want a unique color. And by ordering them or finding them at the garden center, you can do that. So we're going to pot this up, and we're going to choose to use this cool wicker basket pot today. And if you notice the wicker basket pot, I've got it right here, it's very tall. The Amaryllis gets fairly tall. So the reason I'm doing this is because the Amaryllis is going to be about this tall, and that's going to really create some nice height here as this continues to grow over the next several weeks. So depending on what you like, we've chosen this neat container here. I like the way it's got the trees on it. And we're just going to put these stones at the base of the pot. We're going to put the Narcissus or paperwhite bulbs right in the container. I like to plant them fairly close together. And we're going to take some stone, and we're just going to help support the bulb. It's really that simple. So when you add the water, remember you do not want to add the water any higher than the very base of the bulb. So I'm sort of going to look in here. So I'm going to take one of these out just so you can see what I've done. If you look, the water's just at the base of the bulb there. And that's where you want to keep it. So you may have to water this every day or every other day depending on how much evaporation occurs. But what that's going to do, it's going to keep this part of the bulb dry. The roots will go down into this, and eventually you'll have just this mass of roots as these bulbs continue to grow. As with the Narcissus, I don't want to plant this too deep. You want a lot of the bulb exposed, so we're placing that right on the soil. You can see what this bulb's going to look like. It's going to be this great orange color here. We'll take that off. So that's planted, and just picture this up 18 inches, 24 inches. This will just be an absolutely spectacular display in a couple of months. If you want something really unique, how about planting an amaryllis and the narcissus around each other in a container like this? Doesn't that look pretty cool? You can see all the narcissus bulbs around the side and the amaryllis in the middle. Here we don't have any soil for that amaryllis bulb, so you'll want to be sure that those stones are really nice and tight so the amaryllis doesn't flop over. Here's a few things you want to look for when selecting either amaryllis or narcissus bulbs. You want a bulb that really feels firm. Really go around and push all parts of the bulb. If it's soft at all, don't buy it. Bigger bulbs generally mean bigger flowers, so I look for bulbs that look really big. You find an amaryllis bulb that's fairly small, generally won't do as well. You may not get as many flowers. Same thing with the narcissus. Go around, feel the bulb. Is it mushy? Is it rotted? Do you notice mold around it? If you do, don't buy that bulb. Look for another one. Bringing flowers to your home in the middle of winter. Amaryllis or paper whites. Either will work. Both will work. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Growing Wisdom.